Something really cool and decadent, comfort food kicked up to another level. Lobster mac and cheese here at Barbecue My Way. Let's get cooking. All right, whenever you do a mac and cheese, it's classic comfort food. When you throw lobster in, you gotta kick it up. So with the cheeses, we're kind of shying away from the really sharp cheddars, which is what I typically like in a homemade mac and cheese, because we're really wanting to highlight the lobster. So in this case, we're actually coming up with 5 cups of shredded cheese that melt well. We're going to use provolone, Emmentaler, which is somewhat of a nice mild Swiss cheese. It's used a lot in fondue, Monterey Jack, and a mild cheddar. So the key is to use cheeses that don't have that really crazy strong tart flavor. I don't know if tart's the right word, but an overpowering flavor. The star of this obviously is the lobster. It's for my son's birthday. He requested this dish alongside his steak, and I figure, hey, you only get 80, 90 birthdays a lifetime, so when it's your birthday, I cook what you tell me to cook. So let's get going. All right, so we've got a heavy Dutch oven that's heating over medium-high heat, and as I told you, this is my son's dish, so I've kind of altered it and added some bacon to this, and Liz hasn't found out yet, so we're not going to tell her until she comes up and smells the bacon. So we're going to saute this bacon over medium-high heat. 5 minutes of sauteing the bacon. We're going to pull the bacon out, and there's probably about 3 tablespoons of fat left, I'm guessing. Since we still have 3 tablespoons of oil or fat in there, we're going to put in 3 tablespoons of butter, which brings us up total to 6 tablespoons of fat. We're making a roux. But this is better than just butter because you got bacon in it, bacon flavoring. So we're going to melt this down, and we have 2 cloves of chopped garlic. So once this butter gets melted down, we're going to add the flour. And then we're going to start slowly adding the milk and the cream. So 1/3 cup of flour. We'll let this cook for a couple of minutes and we'll be right back. And now we're going to add the liquids. This is 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. Nobody said this was healthy. And another cup, and this is whole milk. A little delay there. A little milk spillage, but the roux must go on. A lot of people, you can actually warm it on the side before adding it. I've never done it. Also never had a milk explosion next to me, but I've seemed to have pulled that one off today too. So we're going to let this cook for a little bit. Should cause it to thicken up. Bring it back to a slight bubble. Enough salt, but it didn't. So we're going to put in about a half, maybe an 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. Andrew likes things spicy, so a couple of dashes of cayenne pepper. It's delicious. Okay. Could have used just a little more heat because I didn't taste any heat at all. Now we're adding the lobster meat that we've cut up, raw lobster meat. These are 2 tails. And we're going to let this cook just a little bit to let that lobster meat cook, and then we're going to add the cheese, and then we'll be pretty much ready to put it all together and top it off. All right, we've got these cheeses now. We put in, a lot of recipes call for cooked lobster. I think you cook it in the roux or the sauce because otherwise it turns into hockey pucks, in my opinion. So now we're going to start adding the cheese and stir it in. And just kind of a slow process of melting in the cheese, and then we'll be ready to taste it one more time for seasoning. And then we're going to combine them, hit it with some panko, and bake it. The consistency, we did add about another half a cup of milk because before we added the cheese. And I remember that bacon that we did. I'm gonna add this bacon now. Make my son very happy. He likes bacon. Pull this off to the side. This is the cavatappi noodle that we talked about. And now we're going to add the cheese to the noodles. I shouldn't say cheese, the cheese and the lobster and the bacon to the noodles. Now we're going to mix that in. And this over here, buttered casserole dish. You could grease it. We chose to butter it because what the heck. Dump it in there. This is very efficient about getting everything out.
That's good stuff in there.
We've got 2 tablespoons of melted butter. We're going to hit it with a little bit of cayenne seasoning, Creole seasoning, I'm sorry. And then we've got the panko breadcrumbs. Throw that in there. Mix it together. Sprinkle it over top. Roughly 30-35 minutes until it's bubbly. And then have a feast. We'll show you a picture and maybe taste it for you when we're done. All right, so we're gonna spoon it out. It's been baking for, gosh, 35 minutes. Cheesy, crunchy, lobstery. Let's see how it tastes. Oh my God. Give this a try. Thanks for stopping by. See y'all later. This is awesome.